Hi, I'm Jason Kaiser, and I founded VFX Apprentice after working at Riot Games for just over 6 years. And this is an amazing interview about how to break into the 2D effects industry for television and film. We're talking with Milena Gonzalez. She's a legend. She's worked on shows like Rick and Morty, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Cuphead, and many others. Milena's awesome. The conversation that we had is just fantastic. It was facilitated by Sandra Feminia, our producer, who had some great questions and sparked some great and interesting topics. So I'm super excited for you to hear all about the world of 2D effects through Milena's perspective. And without further ado, here's the video.
To be honest, I think the industry is very brutal hiring. Like get like hundreds of people, and they're not gonna watch a reel that is very long, and they're not gonna remember a reel that is full of repetitive stuff. I think it's like what a teacher said, and I did, and it always worked. It was like start with your best piece, end with your best piece, no longer than 1 minute, and only your best stuff. And they always said we would watch reels together and be like, I saw 30-second one reel that was amazing, but then you see a 1.5 minute one that has too much. You know, it's like it's
Yeah.
five times the smoke, and it's like okay, I want to see something else now, but there wasn't. And it's like no, it's best one of each and very good and succinct. Like best one, middles with the medium ones, and with the best one, and that's it.
And I'll tell you, this is exactly what happens because think about the people that are in that
Yes,
room. These are leaders, these are senior level
yes,
people. The company pays them a lot of money
yes,
compared to junior level people. And that's a very expensive meeting.
yes.
So that one meeting, if it goes for an hour, it gets pricey for the company to have that meeting. And so everyone feels that. There's a certain sense. It's not like, hey, look at us, we're senior level, we're important. It's like, we don't want to waste time. We don't want to waste money. We want to get back to work. We want to get this production done. I've got like 10 or 15 emails of people waiting on me that need my feedback because I'm a senior level person and I do that as part of my job. So, and there's like 5 or 10 of us in the room, and we all have that. We all have people waiting on us to get back that are blocked by us not being at
Without
our
you
desk.
approving their stuff. Yeah,
It's a very expensive meeting is my
yeah.
point, right? And both financially, but also because other people are not able to do their work because
Without
this
you,
meeting is
yeah.
happening. So this is why it's brutal. This is why it's like the first effect needs to catch the attention. It needs to be
The
exciting. It
best
needs
one.
to make them say,
Yes,
oh, and take their hand off the mouse and sit back and enjoy the
yes,
reel. You want them to take their hand off of the mouse so they're not going to click
yes,
close, right?
yes.
That's your
You don't
goal.
want to
You
start
want them
like,
to watch the next one and the
a
next one.
little glitter thing, and it's like boring. Next, serious,
Yep.
seriously.
I have
Yeah.
watched this
Me
happen,
too.
and I was always the nice one in the room. I think I'm like a natural born,
Like, give them
like,
a
I just want to
chance.
help
Yeah,
people. Give them a
let's watch
chance. Yeah.
this. Like you have to like
Yep.
look at me. Oh my God, look what I can do. And
Yeah.
and
It's
that's the vibe.
true. It's
That's the
true.
like.
Mhm.
Don't show them your 5 different smokes. Show your best one. Like
Yeah.
don't show your 10 different.
You know how Hollywood makes these supercut, like these perfect trailers that only show the best moments and they spoil the whole movie because it's all the best parts of the movie? That's what your demo reel should
Yes,
be.
yes.
Is like you need to sell
Sell
your
yourself.
effects.
Show
Don't
your
like
skills.
sell it.
Yes, and if you
And that
don't
doesn't
have,
mean add
yes,
music. Music covers up what, like, let the work speak for
yes, the
itself.
music doesn't
Yeah,
even
go
matter.
ahead.
They might even turn it off.
Yeah, we usually turn it off, at least
Yeah,
on my experience.
yeah,
Mm.
like if you think you don't have enough for a minute, make 30 seconds amazing. Like seriously, like just
Yeah.
it has to be hammered. Like it's not quantity, it's quality.
Mhm.
That's it to get hired. You have to maybe like prep the day before, prep this interview. Like don't go. I always prep mine. I always talk to my partner pretending he's interviewing me, and write down some key points that I don't want to forget to
Mm-hmm.
say, because when you're
Mm.
nervous, you forget a lot of things. Um, like, especially if it's if you say the interview for a job you really want, like try to prep it and write down some answers.
Yeah, or read
Because
about the studio, about past
yeah, don't
production,
go
even.
like all nerves and blank,
Mm-hmm.
like when they're gonna ask you things, you're gonna be and then 3 hours later, you're gonna think, oh, I should have said this. You know, you should prep.
Definitely research the studio. That's another huge one you just mentioned,
Yep.
Sandra. Like, that's huge. If you show them that you care enough about them and what they're doing, that you took some time to look behind the scenes, and try and figure out who people are, like, pause it on the credits. If they don't have any material online, which is pretty rare, usually studios have some kind of promotional, come and work with us. Here's what it's like working here, or people there give talks at conferences. If you can't find anything, at least pause the credits on a sequence that, or from an episode or a movie that you really like that they did, and look at the people listed in the credits and follow their filmography and see what they've done and be like, oh my gosh, did you know that Milena works here and she worked on Cuphead and that was so inspiring to me, and oh, she also worked on Ninja Turtles, and like,
Mm-hmm.
just like showing with a little bit of name dropping, like, I know the people who work here and I want to learn from them. If the person interviewing you loves talking about themselves and doesn't really want to get to know you at all, that's a red flag. Like, that's an ego. That's an egotistical leader. If that's going to be your leader and they don't care about you, they don't really want to get to know you, they just want to talk about how great they are,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably going to happen when you're working for them too. And that might not be something you want to work with. If you at no point are sort of laughing and getting along with the interviewer, then you have to know this is probably a more serious work environment you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like, there's a very specific kind of work environment that I look for, right? So I look for that. In the past, when I was on the interviewing circuit, I would always look for that. And even when I'm working with new clients and I'm considering if I want this to be a client that we're going to mentor and consult with as a studio, I'm still watching for the same stuff. I'm like, are you going to be difficult?
Yeah.
Are you going to be like demanding a lot of me all the time and never giving back to me? Because this is a relationship I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
into and I need it to be mutually beneficial, or I'm going to be sad. It's going to ruin my personal life. I don't want that. Right. And so with your first interview, it might be hard to watch for that stuff, but just have enough confidence to know that you deserve a good employer and they do
Mm-hmm.
exist. And you might need to go through a couple of teams that you're not totally jiving with before you realize what you want in your career. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I would say the most important thing that I learned was, like something I already said, don't take things personally, be open to criticism and learning. It's not about you, you don't suck at this. It's about what they want for
Mm.
this project, and you will learn with time, and just be open because it hurts less, and you improve, you know. You might disagree with their comments sometimes, but be open to them. That I wish my student self knew that, because my first job was very hard with that student mentality switching, because you can be like the best at your little effects class and then you go to work and you're the worst at your team, you know. And it's such a big difference, and it's so much harsher, and I and then you don't want to be like that hard person that is hard to work with, so make it easier for you and everyone else. Just be open to criticism, and yeah.
Mm.
And you.
Yeah, it's funny. Mine is so similar because I had a really hard time with the harshness, but for me, it was coming from myself. So the funny thing is, I would say my advice would be there is no advice. You're doing everything exactly perfectly the way you need to. And it's not like an egotistical thing like, you're amazing, good job. It's really because I was so worried about the future and where I was headed. And I was so anxious about, am I going to be good enough? Am I going to do it? That it became a problem. It slowed me down and it closed doors for me instead of opening possibilities. I think the stumbling journey that we all take through learning anything in life, especially effects or any art, it's it's a winding road. Like no one has a straight road of how they learn things, and that on that winding road you fall into some ditches and some holes that you have to climb out of because you make mistakes. Every mistake I've ever made was a precious learning experience for me. And that's easy for me to say now because I'm not in the painful hole, right? But that would be my advice to that old version of me, is just breathe, trust the process. You're getting where you need to go. It's all going to work out. But I don't know that I would have believed it anyway, but
Yeah.
I probably would have said something like that if I could talk to the younger me. I really hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're curious to learn more about visual effects animation, whether it's 2D effects, video game effects, television, all of the above, we have some amazing content that you should go check out on our website. We now have an entirely free course. It's got hours of videos and content in there for you to look at. Also, you can get onto our Discord server for free and check out what's going on over there. If you do decide to purchase one of our classes, there's so much more available on Discord with all the chats that we're having every week and the interaction and mentorship. It really is remarkable what we've been able to build over there with our massive library of content. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you again in the next video.